Good morning. Happy after fall break. Today we're going to talk about some spooky stories, some snapshot writing, and then I'm also going to have another video posted on independent and dependent clauses. I wanted to try to break them up for you guys so that way it's not overbearing. I just don't want it to get too long and me lose you. So with that being said, around Halloween each year I like to try to do a spooky stories type unit. So we're really looking at snapshot writing. So a snapshot is just imagine that you are posting a picture on Instagram and it's just that one picture. So it's just what's happening in that exact picture. This weekend I took my kids to Halloween. There was a picture that I took of just the two of them by this little ghost hay bale, and they were going, "Ooh," and I took that picture. So that's the snapshot. So it's just zooming in on one setting, the zoo, and to be more precise, where they were getting the candy with the hay bale. And then I'd use my sensory details to describe it. So what was I hearing in the area? So I was hearing little kids chattering. I was also hearing my kids cry about this and go, "Ooh." So what did I smell? It's the zoo, so you can imagine what I smelled. Not great things most of the time, especially in that picture. There were a lot of animals around us, so I smelled a lot of poop. So not ideal. So what did I see? I saw my kids. I saw other kids. I saw candy. I saw the hay bale. I saw there were some snacks around us too. Um, so here, smell, see, touch. What did I touch? I touched the candy, I touched the hay, I touched my kids, like their heads when I was patting them or pulling them to get back in line. So those are how I'm using my senses. So that's just one example of a snapshot that you're using one moment in time to describe something. Now, that does mean that I don't know a ton about what happened before. I don't know a ton about what happened after. So you don't get to know anything. If I'm thinking about my snapshot of my kids, you don't get to know how the day went before. You don't know what led up to that moment, and then you don't know what led, away from it. So basically, think of it as your climatic moment of your story is your snapshot. It's at the top of your pyramid. Okay. So here's an example. So you can see this little spooky-ish, and it's basically what all of our snapshots this week are going to be. Kind of a spooky-ish looking picture, and you're going to tell me a story based on it in a snapshot. So the first thing that I want you to do is to start thinking towards what is happening in it. So I automatically go to what can I see. So I see that there's a house. It looks potentially abandoned. Now, I'm not going to say it is abandoned because I don't know that for a fact. I know that I see a little air conditioner right here. I see a door. I see vines going up. I don't know what this thing is up here. It looks kind of interesting. I've got my chimney. It looks as if it's a dreary day. It doesn't look like it's super bright outside. I see some trees that the leaves are gone. So to me, that signals it's got to be fall or winter, at least. Probably winter since there's not a single leaf it looks like on there. Um, so it looks like the house has not been updated. What do you think you could smell? If I'm gonna pretend, and that's what I need for you to do during this, is I need you to pretend that like you're in this moment. What do you think you'd be smelling? The vines. It looks like there'd probably be like some dead vines, or like leaves or something around. So maybe that's also what you're smelling. So we went over what we see. What do you feel is another one? Are you feeling spooked? Are you feeling excited to go into this house? Are you like tasting the fear, or are you tasting like maybe something happened and you're tasting blood in your mouth? So I'm trying to make an example here. I'm trying to pretend that I'm making a story. So that's actually what you're going to do today. And I'm going to try to go into my example here. And I'm not going to be able to write a ton because you won't be able to see it. So let me just pull this down to a lower font here. So today you're going to use this picture and you're going to write a little snapshot about it. And you'll see that post on your Google Classroom. So you're pretending, and this is your big direction here, you are pretending that you are in this picture and you're telling me a mini story. Think about like you walked up and this is what you saw. So why are you there? What are you doing there? So I might start off, I'm going to change that font so you can read it in case you don't know how to read the cursive. Let's just go to this. So it was a gloomy morning as I set out on the way to school. Actually, I'm going to use a semicolon because that brings two independent clauses together, which we're going to talk about. So it was a gloomy morning as I set out on the way to school. And I'm going to actually, I think one good thing to do is to have like a piece of paper or something. And I'm going to put my senses on there. So see, hear, taste. Taste is always one that might not happen because it can be weird. Feel, see, hear, taste, feel, smell. And what's my other one? What am I like blanking on? What do I see? What do I hear? What do I taste? Feel. I'm also going to go like touch. So I am already like looking at, it was a gloomy morning, so that's kind of like what am I seeing? But I'm going to continue on and say, so it was a gloomy morning as I set out on the way to school. I went a different way due to construction, and it led me to this house. I instantly felt drawn towards it. See, I'm already talking about like what am I feeling? There was a type of presence that seemed to be calling me. Things I want you to pay attention to too is that in my example, I'm making sure I'm talking in past tense. So I'm keeping all my verbs, was, felt, set. So make sure when you're doing yours that you're keeping in the same verbiage as well. So there was a type of presence that seemed to be calling me. I approached the house full of vines, decaying, let's see, let's just say like decaying flowers and bushes. So I approached the house full of vines, decaying flowers and bushes, and noticed immediately there was something wrong. Now, I can't go too much further into my snapshot yet. So what I know right now is that I have used, and that's why I like to have this thing, I've used my see. I've used my feeling. And by talking about the decaying, I am actually going into smell. So I've got this hear, taste, touch. Let's go into here. So what I do know in a snapshot is that I can't go too much further than just what I'm seeing. I just kind of want to lead into a story, almost, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go to what I'm hearing. I approached the house full of vines, decaying flowers and bushes, and noticed immediately that there was something wrong. I took one more step towards the house, and that's when I heard the door creak. Oops, open. So now I've got my hear that I can take off. So that's kind of why this is handy to have something like this, even if it's just on a blank sheet of paper. So I'm going to continue on. I struggled and didn't know whether to go inside. After all, I needed to get to school, and I was alone. Was this really a good decision? So at this point of my snapshot, there is not a lot happening. I have just given a basis of my story. So I set the scene. I talked about what I could see in the picture, basically, and that is all. So when I start giving you these pictures, at first, today, that's all that I want for you to do, is you are just going to take the picture that I give you, and you're going to tell me a little snapshot about it, just like what I did. So remember, you're using your senses to help guide you. And also I want to say too that like I did not say I saw this, I felt this, I hear this. I didn't just go down a list. I tried to embed it in a type of story. So that's what I want for you guys to do today. And then we're going to eventually turn one of our snapshots into an actual story. So view my next video on what to do for your independent and dependent clauses. I am basically just setting you up for this whole week. So the group A kids will just get all this in person, and then you guys are just watching this and doing the practice sessions, okay? So I will see you in the next video. Good luck with your snapshot today, and I hope it's kind of fun and spooky for you. It's just something different, I'm hoping. Bye!